today is day 22 of the hardcore 30-day discipline challenge, in which these are the rules for the next 30 days. 1 workout every day. 1 meditation every day. Read 5 pages of a book every day. No social media except for allowing myself to post on YouTube. No ultra-processed food and no watching any TV, videos or any content. I'll also be sharing my screen time at the end of the video so you can see I'm not cheating. Today is Saturday, July the 5th. Let's get into it. 5:15 and time to get up. I won't lie, I'm bloody tired, but I'm gonna put a motivational speech on and let's get going. $11 kilograms into the backpack. Time for a walk up the mountain. You know what's a positive of this weighted backpack is that I can't get kidnapped. Because if someone was going to pick me up and try and kidnap me, they just put me back down again. They wouldn't be able to handle it. And so, you know, there's always positives to these things when you look for them. Breakfast this morning is some yogurt, some pear, banana, honey. It's currently 10 a.m. I've had a busy morning. I did 35 minutes jump rope, then I took the dogs for a walk up the mountain with the weighted backpack, had a shower, did a meditation, went into town to get my hair cut, picked up a package, and now I'm gonna get started for the day. My focus this morning is building that free 30-day discipline challenge community and course, so I'm going to get stuck into that and see where the day takes me. Lunch is a chicken stir fry I made last night and a little bowl of beetroot. So let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes that people make in trying to change their habits, and I made this mistake for so many years. And if you're someone who struggles with a few different areas of your life, let's say you struggle to keep consistent with exercise, you struggle to keep up a good diet, you struggle to be productive and often find yourself end up scrolling, well then what I'm about to share is especially important for you. And I want to start off with saying this: I have been exactly where you are. I was that person who struggled for years and years, who had no good habits at all. I would always make a plan to wake up the next day, and I'm going to wake up early, and then I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to make myself a nice healthy breakfast, and then I'm going to try and study for like an hour. And maybe I managed to do it for 1 or 2 days, but I would often become so overwhelmed, I would just burn out, and I would end up right back where I started, just scrolling on the couch, feeling like a failure, and I would think to myself, what is wrong with me? Why can't I make a change? And so the first point I'm going to make is that there's nothing wrong with you, and the reason you keep failing to make a change isn't because you are a failure, but it's because your method of trying to make a change is wrong. You keep trying to jump from level 0 to 100 and expect yourself to change overnight. But this is not how real change works. And the reason I know is because I was also that person who was stuck for so many years because I tried to change everything just overnight. And so what is the first step to creating real lasting change? It's to stop trying to change everything overnight, and it's to focus on one habit. Pick one habit, start small, and build consistency over time. Because when you focus on just one habit, you remove the overwhelming feeling. And this gives you the space and energy to actually follow through and take action. Because it feels much more doable. And then once you've built that one habit, that becomes proof to yourself that you actually can change. And then this proof fuels your confidence, you've strengthened your discipline, and then now you are ready to move on to the next one. Look, I used to smoke cigarettes. My screen time was 9 hours a day. I never used to exercise. I used to rely on like oven food. I couldn't cook. I wasn't productive or couldn't focus on a book because I would always end up right back on TikTok. And so the very first thing that I did is I focused my energy on stopping smoking. And whilst I was quitting smoking, I didn't fix anything else at the same time. I just let all of my other bad habits exist. They were my crutch, and that's okay because I knew that I needed all of my focus and my energy to go on stopping smoking. And then after 2 months of stopping smoking, I felt different. I had more energy and I actually felt proud of myself. I've just done something that was hard and I stuck to it. And that gave me a massive confidence boost. And so because I had that little win under my belt, then I was like, okay, what's the next thing to move on to? And then I started focusing on my diet, and I focused solely on my diet for 3 months. And in those 3 months, I was learning about nutrition by watching documentaries. I was reading books on nutrition. I was learning how to cook. I was doing some meal prepping. But guess what I was also doing during those 3 months? I was still scrolling 8 hours of the day. I wasn't exercising, I wasn't really productive. I was just focused on building one habit at a time, and I was actually remaining consistent with it, and it was sticking. And then once my diet became second nature and I felt like it was now part of my lifestyle, then I tackled my screen time. And every single habit that I tackled started to build up my confidence. I believed more and more that I could change. My discipline was getting stronger and stronger, and I didn't feel overwhelmed because I wasn't trying to change everything overnight. And this is where so many people go wrong. They look at people online, maybe someone like me, and you see the productivity, you see the discipline, you see the habits, and you think to yourself, oh, why can't that be me? What's wrong with me? How come they can take action and I can't? But what you don't understand is that you're comparing your starting point to someone else's end results. You didn't see the behind the scenes process of what I had to do many years ago in order to get to where I am now. And so there's nothing wrong with you, but there is something wrong with your method, and it's because you're trying to change everything at once. And honestly, you'll be surprised how fast time flies by. So many of us want results fast. We want to be our dream person overnight. But let me ask you honestly, where are you now compared to where you were at the start of the year? At the beginning of the year, maybe you told yourself, that's it, this year I'm going to change. I'm going to stop the scrolling. I'm going to stop eating like this. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to become fitter and healthier. I'm going to be more productive. But yet you're still stuck, feeling like nothing's changed. I'm trying to tell you why. It's because your method is broken. And so if you resonate with what I'm saying and you're that person that feels stuck, please take it from someone who has been exactly where you are. I've made so many mistakes until I finally learned the right method to making a change, and it's to focus on one area and put your energy there. Let your other habits exist for now. It doesn't mean you're failing, but it actually means you're being smart, because when you focus on one habit and that one habit sticks, you will then gain confidence, and that confidence is then going to push you forward, and then you can tackle the next one. And habit by habit, your whole life will completely start to shift, and everything will be consistent and you'll stick to it. I don't feel overwhelmed by the habits I do because they've just become part of who I am now. They've just become part of my lifestyle. But that all started with focusing on one thing. And if you started today by focusing on one habit, by the end of 2025, you could be in a completely different situation. You could be a completely different person. And so I hope that can help you. And if you're looking for even more guidance or more information, in the video description, there's a link to my free workbook called The Discipline Blueprint, 5 easy ways to build up better habits. And that contains more information, more resources, and some tips that will help you to begin making this step forward. It's currently 3:45. I didn't get everything done today that I wanted, but it's okay. I'm going to take a break now. I don't want to be on screens anymore, and I'm just going to relax and read, chill out with my dogs, and see how the day goes. Dinner is a sweet potato with a tuna and egg mixture. Day 22 is complete. It is currently 9:15 and this evening has kind of dragged. I've definitely been facing feelings of boredom, and there's been moments where like I've wanted to watch something and I'm just sat there, and then I pick up a book and then I'm just faffing about. But I did end up reading, doing some journaling, and also I got this. This is called a tongue drum, and obviously if I'm taking away social media and taking away distractions and like taking away that evening entertainment, I'm gonna need to find something else to do. So I thought this is like just creative, you know? Obviously I don't know how to play it, but it kind of reminds me of like a meditation. So like, you know, so it's kind of like relaxing, and I think it's just like creative. It'll be fun to like explore. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready for bed. I've actually been feeling tired today and my body is kind of telling me to slow down. And so I was planning to go for like a 15k run in the morning, but actually I'm gonna listen to my body, and I'm going to take a bit of a low intensity day tomorrow and not push myself too hard. And that way when I rest, then I can come back stronger. So let's do a screen time check. Today is 58 minutes, the top one being Google Maps for 30 minutes because I'm terrible at directions. Thank you if you've watched this video. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.